Pocket Rumble's path to the Switch was an interesting thing to watch. From being a launch title to going limbo for a couple of months until suddenly getting announced again and finally releasing. I've already done a video detailing a bit of the past that is, well, pretty outdated to say the least, but it was a game I was looking forward to, and now that it's finally out and I've spent some time with it, I think it's about time we check it out as a whole. Just so you know how much I've gathered from playing Pocket Rumble, last I checked I was in the top 10 in the world with the character Parker. By now, I'm probably no longer up there, but I feel that it's worth mentioning just so I can show you guys that I've spent a good amount of time playing the game. Now, gameplay wise, it's pretty solid, and also very easy to understand the game's inputs. They don't get that deep, and for an average fighting game, it's typically more complicated than Pocket Rumble. Due to this, I feel that it's pretty easy to just pick up and play while also having a general understanding of how the game works. However, I feel like the game could have benefited from having several difficulties for its arcade mode. Mind you, I'm not someone who usually cares about difficulty in games, as I've had fun overcoming obstacles, but I do find it a bit strange that a game as approachable as Pocket Rumble is has a very steep arcade mode, a very steep learning curve for its arcade mode. The AI will completely destroy most players on that thing. It's not too difficult by any means, but when it comes to the casual player, it's certainly pretty high up there. And if you couldn't already tell, the game is inspired by the game Pocket Fighter, so you can fully expect the visuals to be pretty similar to that game. The characters all look pretty good, and I don't really have much to complain about in that department, but I can't help but feel that in their effort to make the game replicate that style of Pocket Fighter, they also indirectly affected the audio. See, the audio isn't really all that bad, but if we talked about music specifically, but it's the sound effects themselves that I kinda have a bit of an issue with. At first, I didn't really mind it, but after a while, the sound of being punched or kicked in the game became a little jarring. I haven't exactly played the game Pocket Fighter back in the day, but I think Pocket Rumble could have benefited from replicating the gameplay and art style, but maybe modernizing the sound at least. Or, I don't know, make it sound better than what it currently is. I also would have liked to see some kind of story to this game. It's weird. ARMS shares the same problem, but basically we have all of these characters and stages with different backgrounds and personalities, but I have no idea who they really are or why they are at some of these locations. For instance, let's take Harper. Why is Harper's stage in a diner of some kind? Is he a detective who goes there every morning? Does he own this diner? I'm gonna go with the detective thing, considering that looks like his theme whenever you pick him into character select. But we really don't know this for sure. It's just kind of me assuming based off of his design. I'd really like to know who all of these characters are, so maybe a story or at least maybe, I don't know, some kind of text or something over the arcade mode would probably do the game some justice. There really isn't much to say about this game. It's light on content, but it's a solid entry-level fighter for only $10, and to me, Pocket Rumble is worth that price at $10. But not any more than that. It may not be the best fighter on the Switch, but it might just be the best fighter you can get at this price range. I'll give Pocket Rumble a 6 out of 10. I know some might find that a low score, but the way I personally see it, a 5 is the middle ground for a review. Not a 7 and not an 8 like many seem to believe. A 6 out of 10 to me means that the game has more going for it than not. But I think Pocket Rumble accomplishes just enough to hit that 6. Just enough that it accomplishes a good amount of solid content, but doesn't truly excel at anything in particular. It doesn't make a masterpiece out of fighting game mechanics or anything like that. It's a very simple fighter. It's a very bite-sized game, but it is a good game nonetheless. Now, if you enjoyed this review, Feel free to check out some of my other stuff where I talk about many other kinds of Nintendo topics. But it was interesting to finally go back to Pocket Rumble after the other 2 videos I've made on the entire topic or the game itself. But I will say that I'm kind of happy that we're going past this now. I do like Pocket Rumble. I was excited for it. I'm not disappointed by any means. It was exactly what I expected. But some people might see the 6 out of 10 and think I hate the game for whatever reason, but that's not the case. I think a 6 out of 10 is fair to what it is, and like I said, a 5 out of 10 is down the middle, and a 6 out of 10 means it's a pretty good game, and that's exactly what I think it deserves. But I'm happy to see that this game is out. I'm glad I praised Chucklefish for standing by this game, that I praised the developers for continuing on the support, and I say thank you for doing all of this. And now that Pocket Rumble is finally done and completed, I think it's about time that my channel stops putting Pocket Rumble videos out. It's been some time, but I think it's great to finally be able to move on from this. But yeah, if you enjoy any of my stuff, make sure to subscribe, like the video, share, comment, all that good stuff. You know, YouTube is fucking over small creators and, well, fucking over YouTubers in general. So if you support us, that's amazing. So thank you so much, and until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.